Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Now let us move on to the next topic of capacitors. Now this topic is a very easy and also interesting topic. Now the topic is about connecting capacitors in series and parallel connection. So what happens when you connect capacitors in series and in parallel? What will happen to the effective capacitance when capacitors are connected in series and parallel? So we are going to see the combination of capacitors, right? So let us consider some capacitors C1, C2, C3 up to n number of capacitors and find out what will be the effective capacitance C, and the effective capacitance depends on how the individual capacitors are combined. So let us start with capacitors connected in series. Now look at this diagram, children. Here there are two capacitors C1 and C2. So here one capacitor C1, the other one C2. So two capacitors, they are combined in series. Now the left plate of C1, so which is the left plate? Now this is the left plate. So the left plate of C1 and the right plate of C2. So here this is the plate we are talking about. This is the left plate of C1. This is the right plate of C2. Now they are connected to the terminals of a battery. So imagine that now the battery is not shown here. So this plate is connected to the positive terminal of a battery and this plate is connected to the negative terminal of a battery. Okay, and if it is connected, now this will have charges plus Q and minus Q. Yes, of course. Now here this plate will have positive charge which is plus Q, and here you have minus Q, right? And also the right plate of C1 has minus Q charge and the left plate of C2 has plus charge. Okay, so if it is going to be connected like this, the net charge will be 0, resulting in a electric field in the capacitors. Resulting in electric field in the capacitors, children. So therefore, in a series combination, now charges on the two plates, that is plus or minus Q, are same on each capacitor. The charges will remain same and the two capacitors are connected in series, which creates a electric field, right? Right. So the total potential drop, which is V, across the combination will be equal to V is equal to V1 plus V2. So how can I say in words? The total potential charges remains the same. So let us not bother about that. We bother about the potential. So the potential drop across the combination is the sum of the potential drop across V1, potential drops V1 and V2 across, which alone will vary here will be potential. So here the potential of this first capacitor will be V1, here the potential of the second capacitor will be V2. Charges remain the same, potential alone will vary. So V is equal to V1 plus V2. Okay, now I am going to find out what is the effective capacitance. The potential is varying, charges remain the same. I am going to find out the effective capacitance, right? So what is the potential due to what is V1? V1 can be written as Q. Actually the formula is, what is the formula for capacitance? Capacitance C is equal to Q by V, right? So I am going to write the formula for V1 as Q by C1 and V2 as Q by C2, right? Now substitute here. So now value of V will be Q by C1 plus Q by C2, right? Or I can also write, bring this Q to the left hand side. In that case, it comes in the denominator, right? When you take Q a common, you have 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Bring that Q to the left side. So I have V by Q equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Is it fine, children? Right. So this is nothing but the combination of an effective capacitor with charge Q and potential difference V. So now the effective combination of this, now V by Q is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Now what will be the effective capacitance of this combination will be? So the effective capacitance of this combination will be C is equal to Q by V. So in that case, I want here it is V by Q. So V by Q is nothing but 1 by C, right? 1 by C is equal to V by Q. Now substitute. So I have the effective capacitance to be 1 by, now here it is connected in series, right? So I can also write as 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So this is the effective capacitance of the capacitors that are connected in series. Okay. Now this derivation I derived with respect to two capacitors connected in series. Now look at this diagram, children. Now here you have capacitors, so many capacitors. Now I have here C1, C1, C2, C3 up to Cn. So you can connect n number of capacitors like this in series, the resultant of which will be 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 up to 1 by Cn. So if you can connect n number of capacitors and the resultant will be, now I am just going to say in words what will be the effective capacitance when capacitors are connected in series. Now the reciprocal of the equal capacitance is equal to, now here 1 by Cs is nothing but the reciprocal, okay? So the reciprocal of equivalent capacitance is equal to the sum of, now here you have the sum of the reciprocal of the individual capacitance. So the effective capacitance, which is nothing but the reciprocal of, let me write the points here, the reciprocal of effective capacitance is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of the individual capacitance. So this is the conclusion, first one. Now second one, what is the second point I get from this? Second point is, now we are talking about this equivalent capacitance, which is 1 by Cs, right? So this equivalent capacitance will be smaller than the smallest individual capacitance, that is equivalent capacitance will be lesser than the least value of the individual capacitance. For example, I wanted to explain this you in a better manner, children. Now let us take this formula, 1 by Cs is equal to, let us take for two capacitance, 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Take this formula. Now let us take the value of C1 be 1 microfarad and C2 be 2 microfarad. Okay, so substitute. 1 by C1 is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2. So what will be the LCM here? 2. You have 2 plus 1, which is 3 by 2. So CS will be 2 by 3, which is a decimal, right? 2 by 3 will be 0 0.36, so 0.6. So what will be the effective capacitance here, children? The effective capacitance will have the value. What is this value? 0.6 microfarad in the sense. Now this value is lesser than the least value of the individual capacitors. Now I have two values here, right? One is 1, the other one is 2. The resultant will be lesser than the least. Which is the least here? 1 is the least. The resultant will be lesser than the least. That is the explanation. See here, equal capacitance will be lesser than the least value of the individual capacitor. So this is the second conclusion which we get from this. The third one is, of course, what is the third one? The charge remain the same, and which alone will be varying? The potential difference. The potential difference alone will be varying, and that is also inversely proportional to its capacitance. So these are some of the conclusions which we get when capacitors are connected in series. Okay. Now next we'll move on to capacitors connected in parallel. The same thing. Now here, in series connection, we saw that the charges remain the same, potential difference was varying, whereas when you connect capacitors in parallel, the same potential difference is applied across both the capacitors, but the charges will vary on capacitor 1 and capacitor 2. It will not remain the same. So which varies here? Charges. Q varies. Q varies. Which remain the same? PD remains the same. So I can have the formula for, suppose now here I have two capacitors. Now here it is C1. Now here it is C2. So I have two capacitors that are connected in parallel, and the voltage is going to be the same. Charges alone will vary. So what is the value of charge for the first capacitor can be given as Q1 is equal to C1 into V. Similarly for Q2 I have the value to be C2 into V. So what will be the equivalent capacitor? Okay, so Q will be equal to Q1 plus Q2. And what will be the, so when I substitute here, it is C1V plus C2V, which is Q. But what is Q? Q can be written as the effective capacitance, which can be written as Q is equal to C into V. So substitute here for Q as C into V. So CV is equal to C1V plus C2V. So which all the terms potential will remain same. So we get cancelled. So C is equal to C1 plus C2 is the effective capacitance of capacitors that are connected in parallel. Okay. So this is applied to n number of capacitors. Now look at the next diagram. The next diagram, we are talking about n number of capacitors. Now here I have C1, here I have C2, up to n number of capacitors I can connect. So if it is going to be n number of capacitors, what will be the effective capacitance? The effective capacitance when connected in series for n number of capacitors will be C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to Cn. So you can connect n number of capacitors. Now here also we arrive at some conclusions. So the first conclusion being the equal capacitance will be what? So first point will be the equivalent capacitance when connected in series is equal to the sum of the, what is the sum of the capacitance of the individual capacitors. So this is the statement. Cp is equal to C1 plus C2. So the equivalent capacitance or the effective capacitance will be equal to the sum of the capacitance of individual capacitors. And the second point, the equivalent capacitance will be greater than the greatest value of the individual capacitor. Again I will prove this. Now let us take the formula once again. Here let me write, children. Cp is equal to C1 plus C2. Let us take the value of C1 to be again the same 1 microfarad, C2 to be 2 microfarad. Okay, so sum of this 1 plus 2 will be 3. So what is the effective capacitance, which is 3 microfarad, which is greater than the greater value, which is the greater value here 2. The answer will be greater than this. So the equivalent capacitance will be greater than the greatest value of the individual capacitor. And here the third point is potential difference across these capacitors will remain the same. Which alone will be varying? The charge alone will be varying, and that is directly proportional to the capacitance. So the capacitance depends on the charge, and the potential difference here remains the same. So this is with respect to capacitors connected in parallel. So this is a very easy topic. Now let us solve some sums. I'm going to solve 3 problems. I'll just tell you the formulas. It's very simple. It's a direct substitution of the formula. So to start with the first sum, 3 capacitors, each of capacitance 9 picofarad are connected in series. What is the total capacitance of the combination? So what is the value of the first capacitor? So C1, let me write here, C1 is 9 picofarad, C2 is also 9 picofarad, C3 is also 9 picofarad. Okay, they are connected in series. What is the total capacitance? So what is the formula? 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Substitute. So 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9, which is 3 by 9. So 1 by Cs is 3 by 9. So this will be 1 by 3. So what is Cs? Cs will be 3 picofarad. So this is the effective capacitance. Okay ma, total capacitance of the combination. Now the next question is, what is the potential difference across each capacitor if the combination is connected to a 120 volt supply? So the capacitors are having equal capacitance, right? Equal capacitance. What about potential drop? Potential drop, which is taken as del V. Potential drop del V also would be same. Okay, so what is V now? V is equal to the sum of the individual potentials, right? So del V1 plus del V2 plus del V3, I write, children, but all these are same. So I can also write this as del V plus del V plus del V, which is V. So V will be equal to 3 del V. But I want potential difference across each capacitor, which is del V, right? So del V is equal to V by 3. So what is V? V value is given as 120 volt divided by 3, which is equal to 40 volt. So the potential difference across each capacitor is 40 volt. Okay ma, it's a very easy problem. Let us go to the next one. I think you should be able to solve this. 3 capacitors of capacitances 2 picofarad. So C1 is 2 picofarad, C2 is 3 picofarad, and C3 is 4 picofarad are connected in parallel. So total capacitance will be Cp equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, which is 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it is 5 plus 4, it is 9 picofarad. So first answer we have found out. Determine the charge on each capacitor, because in parallel connection charges will be different, I said. So if the combination is connected to a 100-volt supply, so first we need to find out what is Q1. So Q1 will be C1 into V. What is C1? C1 is 2 into 10 power minus 12. Pico is 10 power minus 12 into voltage is 100. So what should be the answer? It is 2 into 10 power minus 10 coulomb. Similarly for Q2, C2 into V. What is C2? 3. 3 into 10 power minus 12 into 100, which is 3 into 10 power minus 10 coulomb, right? Next one, Q3 is C3 into V. C3 is 4 into 10 power minus 12. Again the voltage is 100. So here is the answer for Q3, which is 4 into 10 power minus 10 coulomb. So we have determined the charges on each capacitor when it is connected to a 100-volt supply. Okay, clear? Yes, ma? Shall we move to the next one? Yes, the next one is, in a parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates, each plate has an area. So area is 6 into 10 power minus 3 meter square. Distance between the plate is 3 millimeter, which is 3 into 10 power minus 3 meter, right? Calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. So how do you calculate? What is the formula? C is equal to epsilon naught. Let me write the formula. Epsilon naught A by D. Okay, ma? So what is epsilon naught value? Epsilon naught value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 into 6 into 10 power minus 3 divided by D is 3 into 10 power minus 3, right? So here 3 2 times gets cancelled. So when you multiply 8.85 into 2, you will have 1.8. Simplify the powers, you have 10 power minus 11 farad, or in picofarad if I write, it is 18 picofarad. Okay, so this is the capacitance. Now the next question is, if this capacitor is connected to a 100-volt supply, what is the charge on each plate of the capacitor? So we need to find out the value of charge, which is Q. So Q is equal to C into V. So what is C? C is 1.8 into 10 power minus 11 into 100. So what should be the answer? So it is 1.8 into 10 power minus 9 coulomb, which is the charge. Clear? So go through the topics. Now here the formulas involved are capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, capacitors connected in series, parallel. You have so many more problems, complicated problems. To start with, I started with basic. You have so many complicated problems based on this formulas, children, which we will be discussing in the forthcoming classes, children. So go through the topic and keep on reading the content. So keep on reading the content. Go through the topic clearly, children. Okay, ma? So see you tomorrow.